Now we're on day 2 of Nehemiah 9 through 10, and I want to read Nehemiah 9:17 in the NIV. It says, "They refused to listen and failed to remember the miracles you performed among them. They became stiff-necked and in their rebellion appointed a leader in order to return to their slavery. But you are a forgiving, gracious God, compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. You did not abandon them." Now, here's where they're at. Nehemiah 9, in case you didn't know, is the longest prayer in all of the Bible, which is pretty crazy. It moves to the entire history of Israel from Abraham to Nehemiah's own day. And it tells the same story over and over again. God is faithful. His people aren't. He blesses them. They rebel. He disciplines them. They cry out. He rescues them. And the cycle begins again. But right in the middle of Israel's worst moments, one word keeps interrupting the pattern. The word is but. B-U-T, 3 letters. But you are a forgiving God. But in your great compassion, you didn't destroy them. But you didn't abandon them. The whole prayer pivots on that word. And the most honest thing that we can do in prayer is to rehearse both sides of the but. Here's what we did, but here is who you are. That's not cheap grace. It's just costly honesty. Nehemiah doesn't minimize what Israel did. He calls it stiff-necked rebellion and terrible blasphemy. He names it for what it is. And then he says, but, because the character of God is not diminished by the sinfulness of his people. It is displayed in spite of it. Your worst chapter is not the last chapter in your story. God's but is. Here's the question for next time we meet. What is the sin or failure in your story that you have been struggling to believe God has actually forgiven? That's a hard question, but it's an important one. Listen, write down the thing you just thought of, and then right next to it, but you are a forgiving God, gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. You did not abandon them. That is not wishful thinking. That is the testimony of people who tested it for 1,000 years and found it true every single time. Bring that into Sunday with you.